Welcome to the Daily Review. This is Razak, Senior Trading Strategist here at CMTrading. And today is June 6, 2023, and today is Tuesday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, the Australian dollar pops to resistance after a rate decision earlier this morning. Now, there's no major economic events scheduled for the balance of the day. So as we look at the various markets, starting out with the Forex symbols, the major pairs remain unchanged. Now, looking at the indices, the Dow Jones does retrace, while the NASDAQ holding firm and does not. That's very important. Now, looking at commodities, gold remains unchanged while oil retraces. And looking at the stocks, the tech stocks do slide. While lastly, looking at cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin breaks lower. Now, we're going to take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So here we go. We're going to start with the Australian dollar. You can see that pop up to 66.75 from 66.12. Not a big deal, 60 pips, but nevertheless, it gives you an opportunity to fade it at this area. Now, in the anticipation, it's going to correct itself, and this is just a knee-jerk reaction. That's how I would play this, and you got to look for it and just, ease into the position as it makes that correction on the downside. But just make sure that you have a stop loss somewhere above the 66.78-ish level. That would be my stop loss, just to anticipate on that end as well. Now, looking at the other majors, the euro, a little bit stronger versus US dollar, but nothing really to write home about. The GBP also just not trading much. So I don't want to cover the Forex symbols right now. I do want to jump into gold as it's unchanged for the day, but did pop above as it hit that supportish level at 1946-ish level. So this is really important. We're right there at the middle line. So nothing big to tell us about, but as we get to the extremities, remember, they do present themselves some great range-bound trading opportunities. Now, looking at crude oil, does retrace lower. Now, this is important because it filled the gap and then went further down, and that's showing some weakness there, and that could put some pressure on the downside further. Now, jumping into the U.S. markets, okay, last Friday, the Dow Jones had a huge day, 700 points, so retracing about 250 points yesterday, not a big deal. I would give it somewhere in the 50% area. 33,400 would be my supportish area. Where's that Fibonacci retracement, that blue line, you see it right here. So as today unfolds, I want to see whether or not this is truly a rally that's sustainable, or is it just a pop-up, okay? And that's a dead cat bounce. Now, looking at the NASDAQ, holding on, not retracing, and holding on to its gains. And when we look at the tech stocks, they slide. They all slid, starting out with Apple being the biggest one that slid yesterday as money was taken out after a convention they had, and they had some introduction for new products, and they made some statements yesterday, and so the stock slid over $5. Not a big deal because remember, this thing had really rallied from 122 up to 180-ish level. So a $5 retracement, not a big deal, especially at these levels where people are taking some money off the table. Now, looking at the other major techs, Microsoft also retraced just a tad, and so did Facebook, okay? Again, not a big deal because people are taking some money off the table at these levels, and so I want to be aware of it. I'm not drawing any conclusions at this area, but I do want to be aware of it. Tesla also a little bit of a tad of a sell-off yesterday as it's reaching its resistance-ish level. This is really very important as well. Now, looking at Bitcoin lastly, it broke 26,000. That was our level, 26-ish thousand. It's right now 25,758, which I would still say is supportish level. So keep that in mind as this is still unfolding today, and maybe we'll get that bounce today. This is Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.